in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good evening, and welcome to this impromptu stream by myself, Stevo. I'm bored. I just thought, you know what, let's just waste some time and chat FPL. I was just listening in to Andy Let's Talk FPL's latest non-FPL video. As I commented on his comment bit, I love those types of videos. I sometimes find that with a lot of FPL content, when the host, presenter, whatever you want to call them, goes a bit off topic and talks anything but FPL, I actually find it more interesting sometimes, because we all have the same ideas, same opinions, and 99 times out of 100 those opinions are just being reinforced. It was just lovely to hear it, and I just love doing these streams. I just love streaming. I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record, but I just enjoy streaming, and I know there are people out there that just like chatting. I know FPL Tips made a point there just 2 seconds ago. Thank God someone's live to watch. And yeah, I do find with the live stream format, it's... especially if this is from my own point of view, it's just something nice to listen to because you know they're live. It's like with FPL Dave. His stream came up the other day when I was in my car. I went to check something on my phone and it said FPL Dave's live, and I thought, oh, brilliant. Put it on and just listened for like 20-25 minutes. Just went for a quick walk. It's enjoyable. I'm hoping I can keep people entertained for the next X amount of time. I have no idea how long this is going to go on for, but it's going to be a bit of a different stream today. I'm going to do a bit of an old school style stream. Really, I'm actually going to go through the chat. That's what I kind of want to do. But if you do want to come live on air, it's the usual format. If you want to come live on air, you're more than welcome to. I kind of only want to do one question, one answer, so to speak. But if you want to get in the waiting room, and I also kind of want to do something a bit different where whoever comes live on air can then answer a question that someone has in the chat as well. So please just jump in the waiting room on Discord. The link is in the description. FPL Booner straight away he's straight in there. He's there. Ryan, you weren't first, I'm afraid. It was FPL Booner. Sorry, my friend. Rad lad, let's go. It's Raw12G. Hey, Ix Marsosa first. Sorry, mate. It was FPL Booner. BALE, this was unexpected. Yes, it certainly was unexpected for me. Like I said, I'm just trying to pass a bit of time. Reality being is that for anybody that doesn't know, I have to wake up at 5 to 3 in the morning, so 2:55 a.m. and my job is very physical. I come home, I'm absolutely exhausted, and I pretty much just went in the garden, sunbathed, came back indoors, and went to bed. And I've only been awake for the last 2 hours. And I'm just wide awake now. Normally by this point, this is no joke, I'm normally shutting the curtains and I'm getting ready to go to bed. But went to sleep and now I'm quite wide awake. So from a selfish point of view, I'm kind of doing this stream. But like I said, interacting with you guys is a lot of fun as well. So yeah, unexpected, but... in fact, blame Andy. Let's talk FPL. Blame him, because like with a lot of people, he charmed me. Connor Webster, hello, hi. FPL Tips, yeah, finally someone live for me. FPL Booner, where's -8 gang? Where you at? Or is it just me? Sorry, mate, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be taking hits. I'm not thinking of myself, but my team is, as you can see up on screen, is a pile of... It's awful. My team is a shambles. Saka, Burke, Mane, Egan. I just want to get through. This is genuinely my plan. I'm getting through this game week. Just whatever I get. And then game week 3, I'm smashing -12, maybe a -16. I don't know, but that's my plan. I'm doing it. I'm just getting on with it. Just sort out this junk in my team. Thank God the prices haven't affected the Manchester not that it matters with Burnley or Aston Villa, but Burnley or Aston Villa, because yeah, not great. Right then, let's bring on our first impromptu call. Let's see what Razdi has to say. And Razzie, you're going to answer a question as well. Hello, Razzie. Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're from. Hello. There's a clip straight away. Razzie, can you hear me? Oh, what a conversation. That is fantastic. Can someone clip that right now? Go on your phone, clip it, stick it on Twitter, and tell him this is what's happening now. Brilliant. Wonderful. He has actually asked a question in here, but unfortunately he can't ask me himself. So sorry, mate, you've lost your turn. Ooh, Ryan0605, he's asking Boone the question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Boone, do you think Kane can do well? Can he do well versus Southampton? My answer is yes and no. Tottenham are a joke. Southampton are a joke. 2 jokes equal a disaster. That game could end up being 0-0 1-1. So I've got it down as 2-1 in the most appalling, tragic game possible to Spurs. But it really wouldn't surprise me if Southampton came out on top as well. 1-0, 1-1, something like that, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's going to be an absolute... it should be a fun game, but it won't. Let's bring on Sal. Sal, 700. Hello, are we going to have any audio issues with yourself, my friend? Talk to Steve. Hello.
Hi, Steve. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my friend. What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to discuss my team, and during the first week, some people said that they'll be wildcarding in the second week, depending on the scores that they get in the first week. And I'm in one of them camps. I got a really bad first week, so I've wildcarded in the second week.
And what made you in this? I know you've just kind of answered your own question, but what really was that desperate moment where you thought, oh, I'm going to have to hit that wild card?
My first, I only got 34 points in the first week, it's like I had Kane, Werner, Ings, Saint Maximin. I went with the wild card like Pereira, and I had like 2 Sheffield United defenders, which none of them, and McCarthy, they got me no points at all. We only got like 1 or 2 points. Then I thought and with I want to put like Martial and Bruno, all like United players in. I thought I needed a bit more firepower and a bit more stability in the defensive side. I just don't know what your thoughts are on the team that I've picked.
Are you just before we get to your team? Are you that confident with You're that confident with Man United going into the first game week this Saturday tomorrow? Yes.
Yeah, I'm confident on the 2 players I picked in Martial and Bruno. Not Rashford. I've not gone with because he's a bit on and off, because he's a bit in and out more than what Martial is. I'm not going with any United defenders or the goalkeepers. I'm just going with Bruno and Martial, and those are the only 2 United players that I'll be picking this season, to be honest.
Unfortunately, I can't bring your team up on screen. However, what I can do is look at it personally myself. I don't know why that's not working, but it doesn't matter. So for people listening on audio, we got... Okay, let's go through it. Martinez. Why are you going with Martinez? Why go with the Aston Villa goalkeeper, who has been told that he is going to be playing?
Yeah. I found out today that he'll be starting for them tomorrow, and I think he'll bring a bit more stability to the Villa backline. And judging by his performances for Arsenal, he seems like a very assured keeper. And if he doesn't get even clean sheet points, I think he'll get a lot of like save points as he did for Arsenal. So I'm banking on that. And yeah, I just went with him more than I went with McCarthy, because McCarthy at home to Spurs, I'm not sure. And plus Sheffield United didn't have the best of starts against Wolves at home, and they're not that good. They don't score that many, Sheffield United, so I'm hoping for a clean sheet for Villa.
Why have you gone with Costagna of Leicester? What's the thought process beyond that? Is it just a knee-jerk, or do you think that he has the potential to be
I was going to put him in the first week, but I went with Ender Stevens instead, depending on because of what I had him majority of last season, and he was good for me. Castagna, I've gone with him because he's most likely, Pereira's not back, and he'll most likely play on his favourite side, which is the right hand side, and it's at home to Burnley. So, and Burnley are not that good travellers. So most likely, I'm thinking that they'll get a clean.
Just to interject that.
Oh, you're a Burnley fan, Steve, so you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, ironically, we're actually better away from home than we are at home. So
what's your thoughts then on the way to?
I actually do think that
Leicester?
you're going to Leicester will keep a clean sheet, mind. Leicester are actually very good at home and whatnot. But and we're just, when it comes to attack, we're absolutely useless. We played yesterday. Admittedly, it was kind of 50-50 first team and second team. But yeah, I would imagine you'd keep a clean sheet. I was just making the point that actually we're better away from home than we are at home. But
yeah.
I
just thought that because, go on.
I just think that, I think that the Castagna pick, is he 4.5?
5.5. The same price as Ender Stevens.
Oh, wow. Oh, well. You can't find another, like maybe a Wolves defender?
But they're at home to City, aren't they?
They are, but you could play someone like that. Who's this Leeds player on the bench? Strutz or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's that is the centre back that's like they bought for a lot of money. He's gonna most likely start along he played in the first game against Liverpool alongside.
Why not play him? Instead of getting Castagna, why not get a Wolves defender and play this Strutz instead of the Wolves?
Because he's at home to Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham are useless. They're useless. They really are. They're hopeless. I wouldn't be worrying about Fulham at home. They should. The thing is, for me, this particular weekend is going to be very interesting for certain teams. Leeds, one of them, for the fact that they're up against a team that was promoted with them. Fulham looked absolutely pants against Arsenal. Okay, it was Arsenal, but Fulham weren't great in the Championship. By all accounts, they were very lucky to come up. They're up against Leeds. The last time they played each other, it was 3-0 to Leeds. So I'll be looking to see how Leeds play against Fulham to see if Leeds are worthy of that, everybody's second team, so to speak, the way they played against Liverpool. And then to kind of prove themselves. And then you've got Everton against West Brom. Now, if West Brom gets something out of Everton, I would then be thinking, right, now we've got the real Everton back again, because Everton are very inconsistent. They're one of these teams where 1 week they'll get a great result, i.e. against Spurs. I don't care how rubbish Spurs were last week. It was still Tottenham. They got a 1-0 victory away from home. That's excellent.
Yeah.
However, they're up against West Brom, who by all accounts, I think, were actually really good away from home last season. I could be completely wrong, but I think they were pretty good away from home. Yeah, I think
you were right. Yeah, because they played like that 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 sort of formation. So, yeah.
So I'm thinking...
Yeah, I just won with Digne because even if he might not keep a clean sheet, he takes set pieces, free kicks, and he might get assists from crosses.
Oh, it's an excellent pick. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just making the point that West Brom, Everton are a team that I'm going to be looking at this weekend to think, right.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think for the wildcard, Digne, I certainly think, looking at Castagna, I think there's better defenders out there for 5 million or 5.5 if you are willing to wanting to spend 5 million. I personally think that, just looking at this, I'd go a Wolves defender.
I might go Justin. Because it's the same as at Leicester.
Yes, if you're wanting a Leicester defender, just 4.5 for a guaranteed starter for the next few weeks, and he's going to rise up in price. The more he plays, the more. And like I said, it's against Burnley, who. I wouldn't be worried about him.
You gonna be watching the game, Steve-O?
I hope I will be, but I'm probably going to be asleep. But I am going to be planning on watching it. I'm not going to be streaming it for anybody that's listening. I'm definitely not going to be streaming it, but I will be hopefully tuning in. It's going to be. I'm more concerned about Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy does quite well against us. He always seems to score. We don't need to talk about Newcastle. Newcastle are great. Aubameyang don't need to talk about. Click again. He's the popular Leeds midfielder. I'm assuming you've gone with him because he's on penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely
that makes complete sense. Fernandes, you've already explained. St. Max.
That's the one. That's the one that I'm out of my midfielders. I'm really unsure on because I don't know what I'm going to get with him.
Well, I got some good news. So I don't know how true this news is, and I don't know if you're aware or not, but Jota is apparently...
He's going Liverpool.
How official is that? What is? Do you know much about this story?
It's Sky Sports. Sky Sports have reporting it as well that Liverpool are interested.
Oh, they're interested. Have they actually launched a bid? I've seen 35 million.
I'm hearing on Twitter that it could be confirmed as of late tonight or tomorrow.
What's your thoughts on that transfer? I think that's absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, it's like they said it's like 35 million for him. So,
Wow.
so
Well,
I think
yeah, go for
he's
it.
like
Yeah.
a backup to the front three because he can play across the front three. So it just gives them that. But it's a lot of money for him.
It is a lot of money, but they need quality backup players. He's an
It's
experienced.
either him or Ismail Sarr. So
Mm,
I don't know.
mm. And
I would have preferred Sarr, but
are you a Liverpool fan? Are you?
no, I'm a Manchester United fan.
I was saying, okay. Why would you have wanted them to go for Sarr just because you think he's a better
No,
player?
I would have preferred United. I would have because the Sarr is like a more. I would have if Jadon Sancho doesn't sign, which I'll be furious if he doesn't. But as an alternative, I wouldn't mind Sarr because he's like really raw. He's like 20 years old. You can see he's got attributes there that you can work on. So if not Sancho, then as a really really downgrade option, then Ismail Sarr would be pretty good. I wouldn't mind him for United as a real backup plan. That's what United are saying, that he's a backup plan to Sancho, but we know that everyone wants Sancho.
I mean, I'm hoping that he moves to Man United. I just want to see like the quality players move to the Premier League. I mean, I can't wait for Bale to be at Tottenham. I don't.
You're gonna put Bale in as soon as he comes?
Yes, I said it last night. It depends how much he is. I'm expecting 9.5 to 10.5 is what the game will put him at. However, if he came at the cheap price of 9.5,
I think a lot of people will take that.
oh, absolutely, I would definitely take it. And we were just mentioning Wolves a second ago. St. Maximin, wouldn't you rather go for Podence instead?
Yeah, I had him. As you remember, I did have him, but I think it's one of your co-presenters said that he's like a risk. So, but I think with the Jota moving, he's more likely to be a starter now.
This is the point. I think that maybe take out St. Maximin for Podence, because the reality is that actually Wolves could. In fact, there's probably a higher chance of Wolves doing well against Man City than there is bad. And Podence could be in there. So, and St. Maximin apparently flat to deceive the other day.
Yeah,
so,
I was disappointed in him.
Yeah, and the Brighton game isn't exactly the most high scoring of games. But your front.
What does the history say on that, Steve?
0-0. There's been 3 0-0s across the last 6, 2 of them being at Newcastle as well.
Yeah. I have to think about him then.
Yeah, I would St. Maximin to Podence. I think if this is your wild card team.
Yeah.
I personally think go for that. Your front three are lovely. Wilson, Werner, Martial. I think that's a gorgeous front three. You can easily Werner can be potentially downgraded to somebody, i.e. like Jimenez or something like that, if and when required.
Yeah.
But
With that team, I've got quite a few that 15 players. I've got quite 4 million in the bank. So with that team.
Ooh, here we are. We just had a super chat for somebody. Now I didn't really want to scroll all the way down, but right, let me just. I'm gonna have to scroll all the way down for this. Thank you for the super chat too, and the name will come through. It is, and do you know what? Sal, I'll let you answer this. It's Nahal. Nahal, I appreciate the $1.99 donation there. I really do. Right then. Question for you, Sal. Would you do St. Maximin to Podence or Click, whatever,
already got clicked in there.
But what would you do? What would you do for Nahal? Would you do ASM to Podence or Click for a hit? Would you do it for a hit?
No, I would put Podence instead. Because I seen him against Sheffield United and he was very lively, very good. You can tell he's a very slight player, but he'll get assists. He got assists within 4 minutes against Sheffield United. So, because with Jota moving, he'll be more of a guaranteed starter. So I think go with him, because I think you said that Wolves fixtures are not too bad after City, are they?
Well, they're excellent.
They're
You
not
could
too...
argue that the City fixtures easy as well.
Yeah, I was thinking I've got a plan on my team that from week 3 I'm just gonna put take out Aubameyang and put KDB, and depending on fitness, I was thinking of Wilson out for Aguero, depending on fitness, because I got 4 million in the bank.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. 4 million in the bank to maybe potentially do Will. Oh, that's a gorgeous move. Oh, that's fantastic. Excuse me. If you've got. Oh, that's a brilliant plan. So that's an excellent plan.
It just depends on Aguero's fitness, though, because he's even Guardiola said I just saw it now that he's not even trained with the
No,
first
he
team
hasn't.
as
No,
yet.
there's a few players that haven't trained, and I would be waiting on that. I would personally be waiting on that news. But you've got a plan. You're not going to be doing the Aguero move immediately. You've got just over 12 hours to sort this team out. What's the one major issue with this wildcard team, if anything, from your own point of view?
Mainly it's mainly the same Maximin one, and I don't know, and because my backup to that is Oliver Burke, so I don't know if I should put like a 5 million. Is it like a good £5 million midfielder? Then I can upgrade Burke to like a good £5 million defender, midfielder. So I can.
Yeah, Susek is the main one that I can think of off the top of my head for 5 million. I personally think though that St Maximin to Podence, I think go for that instead. Sal, it's been a really, really good call. Just one final question as a United fan. Your thoughts ahead of the Crystal Palace game?
I'm gonna say I expect us to win, but as we saw last season, we did lose 2-1 at home to Palace. But I'm expecting Van der Beek to start because I don't think because Pogba's been out with COVID and he didn't play in any of the like in the Villa game, so he's maybe lack of match sharpness. So I'm thinking Van der Beek to start with Pogba come on the second half, and so I'm going for a routine 2-0 win, and I'm gonna go with a
2-0.
guaranteed Bruno penalty.
I don't know about that guaranteed clean sheet. Sal, you're a star. Thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thank you very much, Steve, for your time, mate.
Cheers, dude. There's Sal 700. Unfortunately, I can't bring up teams up on screen. I don't know why Discord isn't working, or more to the point, it's not being coming on screen, but it doesn't matter. We will prevail. Peter Respecki is here. Hello. What are your thoughts about Spurs getting Bale and Regulian? Oscar Bell is saying, I think it's... I don't know anything about Regulian, but Gareth Bale... Fantastic. Absolutely. That's 50p. Absolutely fantastic. Avinash Gatji saying, should one... Blimey, posh boy. Should one do Mitrovic to Martial or Barnes to Rashford? Which one to do? Oh, man. I would... Mitrovic to Martial, only because Barnes has a better fixture than Mitrovic. That's all it's down to, and I expect Leicester to, like I said to Sal, I expect them to win relatively comfortably against us, Burnley. FPL Boone are going mad about Bale. Why is everyone so keen on Rodriguez already? Because he did so well, Shano. He did so well against Tottenham. What was that stat that was on the Llama Lounge? There we are, Booner. I think it was Matt that said that James has created more chances in that one game than across the last 20-odd games that Everton have had in a single match. Yeah, it's madness. It's absolute madness. Lucas Burnett, should I take a -4 to get James for Ali? Yes. Yes, do it. Grekla saying, tempted to triple captain Aubameyang. Thoughts, Stevo? Stevo, the name that some people hate. Ooh. Ooh. Do you know what, Grekla? History doesn't favour Aubameyang at all. He's obviously the standout captaincy option this particular game week, but do you know what? Don't really like him. In fact, do you know what? Let's get subliminal. Let's get him to answer this question. Subliminal. Hello.
Hi there, mate. How's it going?
Good afternoon. Quick question for where's his name gone? Grekla. Would you triple captain Aubameyang this game week?
I personally like to save him for like double game weeks. But if you're ever gonna do it on a single, I guess why not, right? It's not a bad one.
What are you expecting against West Ham? The result, not specifically Aubameyang, but just the result in general.
I go 3-0.
3-0. So you'd like to think that Aubameyang will get something in that game. Subliminal. New to the show?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Where have you come from? Where have you found us?
I think I follow a lot of people on Twitter, and I eventually found your guys' videos and tweets and stuff. So just probably in the last like couple of weeks, I think.
Fantastic. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. I've got your
it's great.
Unfortunately, I haven't got your team up on screen. I can't. But this team I've got in front of me, is this a wildcard team?
Yes.
Right, for everybody listening on audio. Martinez, Saiz, Digne, Trent Alexander-Arnold, beautiful. Aubameyang, De Bruyne, Harrison, Fernandes, Basuma, Jimenez, Richarlison. Oh, I love the Richarlison pick. And then on the bench, Mitchell Brewster, 9.
It's a pretty trash bench. Pretty trash
bench.
bench.
Well, you say that. Brewster could be going to Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, could be staying at Liverpool, who knows. But the one quick question to you is, this is a beautiful team, but the one player that stands out to me on a wildcard point of view, Basuma. What's your thought processes there, considering this is a 3-5-2 and having him?
So I saw a couple of videos on I think it was like a mathematical way on how to win FPL, do well in FPL, and it was saying how you should invest more in high value players and then not go so heavy on the mid range. And I was having a play around with this team and I really liked it, and I had 4.5 left, so I thought I'll just get in a player that plays. I saw a tweet where he was taking some penalties in training, so I just thought he plays. Brighton look okay so far, so why not?
What's made your wild card this game week?
My first game week was pretty trash, and I had a lot of players that I wasn't happy with, and I basically just didn't have a good team. I didn't plan it very well, rushed it a bit. Just wasn't happy with it. I think I've only got two players in that were in my original team. Who
were they? Well, actually, I'll take a guess. Trent and Aubameyang?
Yeah, there you go. Brilliant.
So, it's a gorgeous looking team on paper, barring Basuma, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
I don't even know what question I want to ask you. Where are you unhappy with this team, basically?
I'm very happy. I was thinking about going Rodriguez over Richarlison, but Rodriguez, we haven't really seen enough of him yet. Richarlison seemed to have a really good game and had a lot of chances in the last match they played. So I ended up going for him over Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez might be more of an assister to the assister.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I didn't know this early on. I thought it was a bit too risky. Jimenez has great fixtures coming up, and he's old faithful, served me well last season. Harrison, I watched the Leeds and Liverpool game, and Harrison looked great. So I thought for the 5.5 mil punt, he was a really good shout. So yeah, and they've got Fulham next, so I'm just going to stick him in for a 1 week punt. And if Wolves look really good for another game, then especially against Man City, then I'm thinking about switching Harrison to Podence. Because he's a really good 5.5 mil option, I think.
Do you think he, if Shota leaves, do you think Podence then becomes a first teamer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he started the last game, didn't he?
Yes, he did. You're another one that's got him Martinez.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had a 4.5 mil for the keeper, and I didn't like the look of McCarthy. Like Southampton haven't got off to the best start. I know there's all the whole you can't judge it off one game, but they lost 2-0 to Brentford as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Everyone else has McCarthy, so I might as well go a bit of difference in the back there. Martinez is a good keeper, and Villa aren't that bad at defending. So I know they nearly got relegated, but
Gareth Bale, a lot of talk that he's going to be signing at some point. We don't know when, but there will be a point this week that he actually does sign. I'm not expecting him to start his first game until I think it's game week 3 or 4 when they play Newcastle at home. Does he excite you coming into this game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I won't put him in for a couple of weeks. I want to see, like, I don't know how wide he'll be playing as well. I mean, I'm sure he'll be a great asset, but I want to watch him for a couple of weeks first because, like, my midfield, it's Fernandes, De Bruyne, or Aubameyang. Game week 3, I'm going to swap Aubameyang to Salah, and then I kind of don't want to swap De Bruyne, Fernandes, or Aubameyang. So if I was going to make room for someone like Bale, I'd be getting rid of probably one of the strikers. I'd probably have to downgrade both my strikers or one of my defenders and the striker.
Bilal making a point for you. Why not downgrade Richarlison to DCL and upgrade Basuma?
Honestly, it's just more of a personal thing. I just don't like DCL. He just irritates me a little bit.
Why is that? Why does he irritate you? What's the matter with him?
I don't know. Just his personality, he just seems a bit of an annoying guy. I just like the look of Richarlison. It is a good point, though. It was something I thought about, but I looked at the potential for Richarlison, and I think it's higher than DCL. And I think Basuma, he's going to get 90 minutes pretty much every game. He could get something eventually, and probably more than, say, if I was to upgrade him to a 5.5. I don't know if the point difference will be that much, but we'll see how it goes. Because that might be an option.
Playing devil's advocate, so I just said to Sal a minute ago that this particular weekend, the Everton versus West Brom is where I'm going to be making a kind of conclusion as to whether Everton are really going to be doing something this season or not. They're up against a newly promoted team that were awful last week. Let's just say West Brom managed to get a draw 1-1. Are you going to be regretting those Everton picks?
No, I'm not. I don't think. That might be a time where I think about downgrading Richarlison to DCL, but I think they looked really great. I think they looked great. I mean, I've got Dina in not just for the defensive, but also for the offensive. So I'd like to think that it would be I have some faith in them.
So it's a beautiful team. Just for a bit of fun, Matthew Wright is asking the question: Martial and Rodriguez or Calvert-Lewin Fernandes? What would you do?
I mean, it's not what I've gone, but I did really want to have Martial in my team, so I'd probably say Martial and Rodriguez.
Wow. Okay, thank you for the call, Slavino. Really appreciate it. Cheers, dude.
Yeah, no worries, man. Take care.
No, you too. Thank you. I think we've just had another super chat. This is fantastic. From Saler Ahmed. Jota, thank you for the £2 donation. Appreciate it. Jota to Liverpool could be agreed for 35 million as of Saturday. Good. Yeah, there's a lot of talk in Discord, thanks to people like Paulie. So essentially confirming what you're saying, and it's great to hear. Whether he starts for Liverpool, he is going to definitely be back up no matter what, but it's an excellent backup. I don't think Minamino's done much. Shaqiri, forget it. Boona was making the point, have I seen your -8? I heard about it, obviously, on the link on your show. Triple Everton. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. Well, I say that, but if West Brom get a result against them, let's bring on Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Charlie. You are live on the show.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Oh, good, my friend. A 4-3-3 formation. Captain Aubameyang as expected. What do you want to talk about?
Shall I tell you about my transfers I've done?
Carry on, my friend. It's your
So-
show. Go for it. Tell me.
So I've done Burr, the 4.0 million defender, out, and Werner out for Calvert-Lewin and Digne for a -4.
Why have you got rid of Werner?
Main reason is, well, even if he does play, I don't reckon Chelsea would do that well anyway, because they look pretty poor against Brighton, even though they won. And I'm thinking about wildcard in game week 3 anyway, so I could bring him back in anyway. But I've just gone for Calvert-Lewin and Digne, thinking they're going to do well for 3 or 4-0 on Saturday.
3 or 4-0.
Yeah,
You're
you're
that confident?
easily. Yeah, I think obviously first home game for them as well. I think West Brom looked very poor against Leicester, and Leicester weren't exactly the best. You know, it wasn't really a 3-0 scoreline. Obviously, they got 2 penalties, and obviously Castagna got a goal. But yeah, I think it could easily be 3 or 4-0 to Everton. I can't see why not.
I can't see why not either, but I've been making the point. I made it to Subliminal. I made it to Sal that, you know, this is going to be a test for Everton. This is going to be my test for them. Are they going to prove to us all? If they win 3 or 4-0, I think I'm going to have to hit that wild card, and I will have to. I'm being serious. I'd have to bring them in.
Yeah, definitely.
These players, I think, the likes of Digne, Calvert-Lewin / Richarlison, Hammers, certainly are players. But maybe even if I need to, I mean, how much is Decor in the game? Do we know? 5, 6?
5.5.
He's 5'5". Is he maybe even looking at him? He's somebody that can pop up with the odd goal here or there, especially if he's allowed to attack. I'll tell you what, Charlie, I really do mean that. If they win 3 or 4-0, they've passed the test for me. They've done well against Spurs. They'll have done well against West Brom. And, absolutely confident with the Aubameyang. We had Grekler saying that he's thinking of triple captaining Aubameyang. Your thoughts on him triple captaining? Do you think Aubameyang's going to do that well to justify that chip usage?
Yeah, he could easily do well. I'm just a bit nervous because, like, Saturday night I'm going out with a few drinks with my mates, so I won't be watching the game, and I hate captaining him someone when I'm not watching the game. So I was thinking of maybe switching it, but I doubt it. But he could easily triple captain. He could easily get a hat trick or even 2 goals to be. I think if you triple captain him and he gets 1 goal, then obviously it's not worth it. But if he gets 2 or more, then I think it's worth it, definitely.
What do you have to say to Firetog saying this? Taking a hit before a wild card is madness, Charlie. What have you got to say to Firetog?
Well, I think I was either going to do because I got Redmond as well. Obviously, he got a mock. So I just think these are 2 transfers that can easily pay off. Digne, he's on set pieces, on free kicks. He could easily get a goal or assist, and hopefully a clean sheet. And then Calvert-Lewin, obviously you've got James whipping them balls, and he can easily get a goal or 2. So I think it can easily pay off. Maybe I might not wildcard. I could easily just do Ings out and Aubameyang out for De Bruyne and Martial next week for a -4. I don't have to wildcard. I was just thinking maybe.
Your strategy last season, of course, was basically taking a -4 hit every single week. Do you think that strategy could pay off this season?
Yeah, easily. It worked well until I think it was probably midway through the season, and then I think I took Danny Ings out for Kane, and Kane, I think it was, and they were playing Southampton as well. That was his first game, and Kane got injured, went off, and Ings just went back on that goal-scoring streak. But yeah, it can easily work. I mean, especially Digne and Calvert-Lewin at home to West Brom. I think it should go well. Hopefully, like we're all saying, hopefully they're not the same Everton as last season where they beat a good team and then draw or lose to someone awful. But yeah, it can easily work, I think.
FPL Anderson reporting that Sky Sports News are reporting that Jota looks like he's pretty much confirmed. Question for you. I'm going to be asking every single caller to answer a question from the chat, which is quite simply this. It's not really a question, it's more of a statement, but I'd like you to kind of talk about it. Bilal making a point. I think people are thinking Everton are better than they actually are just because of one good game. What do you think on that statement there?
Well, I mean, if you look at the starting team, I think they're in for a good season. They're going to be pushing for Europe. I think obviously defensively they're going to be much more solid with Allen. I don't think James Rodriguez, Allen, Decore, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. I don't think they're just going to be an inconsistent team. So, I mean, he could be right. Everton might not do as well, but I think they're going to push on now. Obviously, Ancelotti's first full season as well, and he's brought in quality players. So yeah, I can't see why not. I think they're going to have a good game. I mean, if it's bad, then if Bilal can come back on Sunday surgery or something can prove us wrong, but I think they do well.
So do
personally.
So do I. I went 2-0 myself. Charlie, appreciate you coming on, pal.
Yeah, cheers for that, Steve. Take it silly.
No, thank you. Take it silly. There's another clip. Clip it now. Get it on Twitter. Brilliant. Anuj, let's just quickly a few chat questions. Anuj Bajaria, is it worth keeping averts for Gameweek 2 or bringing James Rodriguez? God, that is... Get him out. Get in Rodriguez. Get in Rodriguez. Bring him in. Bring in Rodriguez. He passed the eye test. You've just heard Charlie. He thinks 3 or 4-0. You've heard from me. Admittedly 1 or 2-0. But James Rodriguez could do well against West Brom. I really do think he will play. He will play very well against West Brom. FPL Anderson saying deal could be completed tonight. This is regarding Jota, as Wolves and Liverpool have been advanced talks. Good for opponents' owners, absolutely. Flynn Bruno, yo, my slimes. Martin Boyle, St Maximin opponents next week then. Yes, there's a great shout. Zystro, Watkins or Mitrovic, who is the better option long term? See how Watkins does against Sheffield United. Just see. Mitrovic, we know what he can do. Watkins, we know what he can do in the Championship. We have no idea what he could do in the Premier League. Andre Johansson, get lost. Hendrick, forget it. Hendrick is... Forget it. Peter Respecki saying, as I keep saying ASM. St Maximin opponents in for 4 game weeks. I think it's worth the point. What do you think about Reece James? The D production is saying, he's a very, very, very good attacking player. Very good. So I would, if anybody owns him, play him for crying out loud. AFX Harvey, shall I put Aubameyang, William Vardy or Martial as captain? I mean, of those 4 options, Aubameyang's the quote-unquote safety. Martial's a good... do you know what? I'd go Martial. Of those 4, I'd go Martial. He always seems to get double-digit hauls at home. Martial, I think. ARZ, blaming, what is this? AFX, ASM, AFC, ARZ, Ings to Martial. I like that. I love it. Xiang loves the content. Martial or Werner? Martial. Ryan Seashan, hello mate. Did you hear the... Oh yeah, that's a point. So, Jason announced the... So this is actually aimed at members or anybody more to the point that's participating in the Invitational League. So anybody that's part of the Invitational League, if you do not know, Jason has announced the prizes. So Jason has announced the prizes on a members. It's a quick 2-minute video. I think it's like a 1-minute 40 video. Jason explaining what the prizes are. Also, check your emails as well, because there also has confirmation on the prizes. Astronaut HD, Steve, any thoughts on Mopé and Trossard? They play for Brighton. Brighton just do not interest me whatsoever as a team. They're one of those teams which could have so much attacking potential and do really, really well, but they just don't seem to do it. Watch them tomorrow smash Newcastle. Andrew Gina, what do you think of having all three of James, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin? Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's ask, is he still there? Yes, he is. Boona. Let's ask Boona that question. Boona, get ready to unmute your mic, your headset, everything. Hello, Boona.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. You're somebody that has, off the top of my head, we'll go into this in a second. You've tripled up on Everton, is that right? We'll get into that in a second.
That is correct. Yes.
Right. So the question that I have here from Andrew Gerner is, what do you think of having the three big hitters of Everton, Rodriguez, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin? What do you think of those three in your team?
No, not for me. I've got two of them. I actually think it's just I had a bit of an issue with my team, which is why I went that way. But I actually think it's more viable investing in some of their defence, particularly Digne. I'll give you my reasoning for it. That three that they've brought into midfield now, Alan, Decore and Rodriguez, evidently, I think it's going to make a massive difference to that defence and really help them. And I think their defence could definitely be in for some more clean sheets this season. So I wouldn't triple up. At the worst, I'd do what I've done and get two attackers, one defender, but I wouldn't go triple up. I think that's way too many eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I was listening to you on the Llama Lounge, and when you said you took a -8, now tell the audience what that -8 was. I know what it was, but if you just want to tell the audience what it was.
Yeah, so earlier in the week when I was annoyed, there we go, save 50p. Save 50p. I'm Indian, we think about saving every penny. I'm being careful here. So earlier in the week, I got rid of Kane and Burr, the 4.0 Wolves defender, for Digne and Richarlison. I think Richarlison is going to be high on people's agenda over the next few weeks. He should have done a lot better against Spurs. So I did those transfers. And then today, after the Pulisic out news, I lost my patience. So I did Pulisic to James Rodriguez. He's going to be in the assists, I reckon. I think he's going to be the talisman. Some people are saying he could even be on penalties. That remains to be seen. But yeah, those were my three moves. So I got rid of Kane, Pulisic, and Burr for a -8, and I brought in Digne, Richarlison, and James Rodriguez. A lot of people don't like it. I really don't give a shit. I've got to send you the 50 now, but yeah, I really don't give a shit, to be honest. I play my own game. I don't play other people's games. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's a quid now. Your team, I'm sure Jason was the one that said it to you. I can't remember. It's just a sea of blue. McCarthy, blue. Digne, blue. Justin, blue. Barnes, Rodriguez, Werner, Richarlison, all blue. It stands out a lot here. I'm going to keep asking this question. The test for me is Everton versus West Brom tomorrow. If Everton come unstuck and end up drawing like 1-1, 0-0 perhaps, or even at worst losing 1-0, how are you going to be feeling?
I'm gonna feel annoyed, but at least I backed myself. Like, I'm not a sheep that's copying other people's transfers. I don't really care. And if worst comes to worst, I need to hit the wild card, I will do. Like, Gareth Bale's obviously signed now. If there's news that he's in contention to start game week 3, he's straight in my team. For nostalgic purposes, for bias purposes, I don't care.
You've linked me beautifully. Gareth Bale, I'm expecting between 9.5 and 10.5.
Thank you, Benji, by the way.
Why? What's he said?
He's put a £2 donation in for Boona swearing and for some more extra.
Watch the Llama Lounge. Boona is... you're very... no, I'll hold that for after this first question. I don't want to go off track. Gareth Bale, I believe he's going to be 9.5, 10.5. What do you think his price is going to be, and how do you think he will fit into the Spurs system?
I think he'll slot straight into right wing. Obviously, he used to play left for us, but that's Son's position. And I believe he played a lot on the right for Madrid, and he likes cutting in. So I think he'll slot in right on that right wing. And I think he'll be between 9.5 and 10.5. A lot of people saying that he'll be the same as Son or lower. I can't see that. For someone that's got the accolades that he has, I think he'll be at least 9.5 personally.
Yeah, the Llama Lounge, you enjoying doing the stream? Because I've got to say, like, how can I explain this? Do you know, it's going to sound so weird, me saying this, but you are the equivalent of me on this show. You just say it as it is. No, I'm being serious. I'm in my car and you came on and you were just... Basically, you were ranting, and it was just like... it's the thing is, it's so different, and it's not like the flat base line of just like I'm doing today, just asking basic questions, talking about various things. With yourself, Matt and Llama, it's a conversational piece, and it's just, as I keep saying, that line of three blokes in a pub, and you are that. I call you the antagonist because you just say it as it is. It's great. It's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. It's good. It gives us an opportunity to kind of just voice whatever that we want to voice. There's no filter between us. No one really cares. We don't really get emotional over what we say to each other. It's good. It's really enjoyable.
Sharpie, thank you for the kind words there. I'm busy painting, listening to the same old music, and this pops up. Love it, Steve-O, you're a legend. Thank you. You don't have to call me a legend, thank you. Andre Johansson saying, think Sterling going to score more than Jesus, but who knows? Those are the two puzzles for me. Sterling's going to outscore
What do you think
Jesus.
about my -8, Steve-O? Do you think I should wildcard and bring in some Fernandez and Martial and maybe What do you think about, actually, take it back a step? If I'm doing a wild card, I know you're probably going to come onto wild card chat soon, but if you're doing a wild card, there's so many players now in the game that you need to get in, and it's very difficult. Have you considered a wild card, firstly? And secondly, what are your thoughts on budget options within certain teams that are going to be quite attractive, like Mahrez and Greenwood in particular?
I heard you. I heard you talk about this the other day. The options like Mahrez and Greenwood, personally for me, don't excite me. I think there's better budget options out there, which I think will score kind of like the equivalent or maybe a tiny bit less, whereas their counterparts, for argument's sake, Mahrez's counterparts would be De Bruyne and Sterling. We know what they can do, so I'd rather have them in my team. Regarding the wild card, I'm tempted for game week 3 wildcard. Tempted, mind. I think that, to be honest, God, it sounds ridiculous me saying this, but again, going what you said on your own show. So when you were speaking to Llama about the wildcard that he did, and that moment was genius when Matt revealed that the price rises aren't going up for Manchester clubs and Burnley and Aston Villa. That was wonderful. I think that doing the wild card now really early could be very important for the price rises / falls. I'm in a bit of a pickle because I've lost 0.1 on Saka, 0.1 on Mane. The Mane one isn't too bad, but for argument's sake, the Mane one is a bit of a kicker because if I did want to do the -4 that I was considering this game week, which was going to be Sterling / Kevin De Bruyne in for Mane and then Ings to Martial, I couldn't do it because of that 0.1 drop.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
I'm close to hitting that wild card for reasons being that, do I really want to be taking a -12 / -16? It's very, very early days, but as they said on the Black Box last night, losing value on players is worse than taking hits, and I completely agree. And I was just like, yeah, you're right.
Is worse.
Yeah. Well, think about it, because if you lose 0.1 on, like in my case, Mane, I can't get in the two players that I kind of want in Kevin De Bruyne and Ings, for argument's sake. And they've got a very high chance of bringing in 2 double-digit hauls, whereas someone like Mane versus Chelsea and Ings versus Tottenham, even though I've predicted them both to score each or get some form of attacking returns, in the long run, they didn't really do much. In fact, when you
brings up the importance of saving money in the bank, though, isn't it? Even 0.5 could be, very helpful at times like this.
Yes. Do you know, it's funny with hindsight now. I wish I just did the 3-5-2 formation that I had when I had 3 Tottenham players. I had 3 million in the bank, and I would have just.
Remember.
Do you know what I mean? My team would have been so much more settled and everything. But when I was listening into your show, when you revealed the Southampton team news, and you said that it's the full strength team, and then I was in Tesco and I was doing some shopping and I was listening in, and when you said the words, and can you believe it, Ings has started, and Lama was like, no, he hasn't started.
He played the full game.
Yeah, I just like, forget it.
The thing is, they're not going to bench him, though. No. I wouldn't worry. He's the talisman there.
He is indeed. So, wild card, I'm very tempted. Game week 3, game week 4. I think I might just do what you have right in. I don't know whether you're aware or not, but in the Sky game, you have to do a wild card. Well, it's called an overhaul, but it's the same difference. In game week 4, I'm thinking it's kind of maybe doing the same. Just get to game week 4, and bang, just like that, just getting the players that I want, because we've then got 3 game weeks worth of data to suggest that Southampton are rubbish. Everton actually aren't the team that we are expecting them to be, because they drew against West Brom and then they messed up against Brighton or Newcastle, whoever they've got. In fact, who have they got in game week 3?
Brighton, Man U.
Everton.
Everton have got Palace away, which is a difficult fixture.
Yes. So
not easy.
If they mess up over the next 2 fixtures, I'm then thinking, do you know what? That's an options that I don't need to worry about. People like yourself have fallen into, it's not necessarily a trap, but you may have fallen into the Everton trap. Are you tempted to hit the wild card then to wipe out that -8, or are you just happy to go into this game week with that -8?
I am tempted.
I wouldn't do it. I think the -8 you've done is excellent. Let's be real here. I mean, what are you expecting? Charlie's thinking 4-0. I'm thinking 1-2-0. What are you thinking? Everton versus West Brom.
So my phone's not vibrating, is it?
No.
Okay, cool. Because I'm getting messages and it's vibrating on mine. That's fine. So basically, I think I didn't watch the game, but Leicester. I think the scoreline deflated West Brom a bit, because 2 of them were from penalties, and Vardy had 0 shots in open play all game. So I'm not sure it's going to be. I mean, this is going to sound really stupid because I've got 3 Everton assets on my team. I don't think it's going to be high. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. I think it could be something like 1-0, 2-0, if I'm honest. But as long as like those 2-0 are like Rodriguez goal, Richarlison goal, and Digne assist _2, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? It could easily be that, but I think it'd be 2-0.
It's funny you bring in Richarlison, because I actually think, do you know what? Genuinely, I think he could get a double-digit haul tomorrow. Genuinely, I think. Okay,
well, that's really interesting that you say that, because I am 60-40 at the moment in favour of Aubameyang.
For captaincy, yeah. I
know you were talking about the history not being so brilliant as well for Aubameyang versus West Ham.
I could be completely mad.
It's West Ham.
Yeah, I could be completely mad. Richarlison at home. Is he better at home or away? I can't remember from last season if he did better away or he did better at home. I can't.
I think the risk, Steve, though, is too high.
I don't know. I honestly think if you can find out the stats about Richarlison away from home last season, where he got his points from.
Mm-hmm.
Home stats. If at home last season he did really well, I'd be tempted, mate, to put that captaincy in Richarlison, especially with people like we all think that Everton are going to win. And
yeah, but Steve-O, Everton versus West Brom's the first game.
It is
game week, and I've got 3 players. Can you imagine? 3 players down and a captain down, and I'm on like 7 points. My head is gone, mate. My head is gone. I am not enjoying that dinner I've got booked with my girlfriend tomorrow evening.
That'd be hilarious. Buddha, before we let you go, I'm asking everybody just to answer a quick question for anybody that's in chat right now. And it says it's an Everton-based question. So IZ Gunners is asking this. So Boona, would you have Rodriguez, Allen, or Decore?
Rodriguez, Allen, or Decore in FPL?
In FPL, yeah.
That's a stupid question, I'm afraid. Rodriguez all day.
Rodriguez all day. Boona, really do appreciate you coming on.
Cheers. Take care, Steve.
No, you too. Bye. Take it easy. There we are. There's Boona there. Really do appreciate him coming on. And yeah, please check out the Llama Lounge. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those where when I was listening to it, you look at... I said it with my brother on a voice message. I looked at a voice message there and I was like, oh, wow, 12 minutes. Fantastic. Something to listen to. And it's going to be specifically directly about something that I'm interested in. And 12 minutes vanished like that. And anything to do with audio, I always find that with audio, when you see how long the specific audio product is, if it flies by, you know it's good. And for me, the Llama Lounge just vanished into thin air. It was just wonderful. So check them out. King Cum saying, I would love a Pereira goal. I think anybody would. A lot of people are asking me to do a quick wildcard team. All right, I'll do it. I'm sure it was you, Flynn Bruno, saying about Brownhill. Now, I wasn't One Rovers vlog saying who's Brownhill. You're saying that sarcastically because you're a Bristol Rovers fan. Come on. I think Brownhill, when he was playing centre for us, which is his natural position, played a lot better than when he was playing out on the right. So I'm looking forward to how he performs this season. He's got I think he's cemented his place now ahead of Jack Cork. So Nathan Pitwolski, Willian or Rashford are really debating this. Any tips? Rashford for the next 10 fixtures. Flynn Bruno saying that Brownhill is box to box. He is. Not for Burnley. FPL Cheddar, I've wildcarded. There's your Burnley fan. In fact, FPL Cheddar will have more information on Brownhill than me. David Yavid Hussain. Steve, I like Peters, again out of position defender. He won't be playing out of position if in fact I've heard, funny enough, here we are, where are we on the Planet FPL timestamp? Get this in your book. We are at 1 hour 7 minutes. Blimey. That is flown by. Here's the Planet FPL one. Apparently James has heard on the grapevine that Taylor could be injured. So there we have it. So people are asking for a quick wildcard team. Right then, so if I was to do a wildcard, do you know what? Robertson would be out. Get rid of Egan. Hopeless. Can everybody see this on? Well, I know you can see it up on screen. I just want to see if you can see the full. Just need to drag it down a bit. And then away we go. This is all going to be complete new jerk. And oh, by the way, I do appreciate the amount of people subscribing like Nathan straight away. Thank you for subscribing. Anybody completely brand new around here, please hit that subscribe button. If you are enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the content myself and Jason are producing, please hit that subscribe button. If you're enjoying this stream, go hit the like button. Let's get in the algorithm. Anyway, enough of that. Moving on to this wildcard team. So it's all going to be a bit knee-jerky and everything, but right, Aubameyang gone, Saka, you can flaming clear off, Mane clear off, St. Maximin go, Burke. Oh yeah, I'd keep him in just for that, and just for the sake of it, because I would be going 3-4-3. Ings can clear off. Right then, so it would be as follows. I'm going to definitely have in Martial. That's an absolute certainty. He can go straight in my team. Now, I'm a big fan of Man City. So actually, I would be going the double up of KDB and Sterling. I know someone said last night about me saying that Sterling in form in the quarterfinal of the Champions League wouldn't suggest that. I know it was a horrific miss. You can blame me, by the way, because I think it was that night in which I'd actually said about the fact that Sterling was on some form of anabolic steroids, and basically he goes and does that, goes and misses that extraordinary chance that he was offered. So, and then Podence, based on this news coming out of Wolves, what am I doing here? I forgot, I just type, can't I? Podence, stick him in. I'd definitely have Digne for Everton's excellent upcoming fixtures. Let's get him in. Dean. So far, I mean, what's that? These are no price points. I've got 11.8 to spend on two players here. Well, those front three aren't too bad. Wilson playing for Newcastle, he's the front man. I'd have him. Werner, can't deny Chelsea's attacking prowess. Martial, can't deny them either. Defender-wise, off the top of my head, well, let's bring in a Wolves defender because of the quality that they have up there. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. Let's just bring in Saiss for argument's sake. He doesn't play for... What's going on here? So let's just put in a Saiss for argument's sake. And that then leaves me with 6.8 in the bank. And I could bring in... See, this is when it gets a little bit difficult. Now, I'll tell you what. If I wasn't going 3-4-3... I would downgrade Wilson to a 4.5, perhaps. Let's just take Aston Villa's Davies as an example. Davis. In fact, stuff that. Let's go for Brewster, for argument's sake, because there's a chance that he could be moving along here. That leaves me with 8.8 in the bank. Now, let's get rid of Oliver Burke. Hopeless. What could that leave me with? Let's just say Willian for argument's sake. Let's just say Willian because I think Willian could be fixture proof. Now this could work. Could work. Damn. I was hoping I'd have enough in the bank to get maybe Harrison or Click of Leeds. So I've got 5.2 in the bank there. Thank you for the subscribe. Erastus for the subscribe. Thank you very much. So, anyhow, where was I? So if I don't want Willian, then maybe, like people are saying in chat, James Rodriguez. Perhaps. So let's just stick him in for argument's sake. Rodriguez, there he is there, 7.5, which leaves me with 5.8, which means that I would get... Do you know what? I'd get in Harrison ahead of this Click. Although then again, he's got Man City, which he can't play. So let's just put in Click. Done. And that would be a 3-5-2 formation, roughly. Give or take. You've got the double up with Everton, Liverpool coverage and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not their biggest fan, Liverpool as of yet. I'm really confident in Man City. So De Bruyne, Sterling. You've got Podence in there who looks like he could now cement his place as a first teamer. Rodriguez, of course, with the attacking prowess that Everton now have. Click, as we just mentioned. Martial and Werner up top. Now, there are some people screaming, where's Fernandes? Well, there's a chance that instead of having Rodriguez, let's just say for argument's sake, I was to put in Fernandes. He's 10.5. Which then leaves me how much in the bank? 6.8 in the bank for a... Now, I'll tell you what I could be clever with here. To have that Everton coverage. Get rid of Click. Sorry, not get rid of Click. Whoops. Getting Calvert-Lewin. So where's Everton here? Here's Everton. Calvert-Lewin, 7.1. I would downgrade Alexander-Arnold to Robertson, just for argument's sake. Because to be honest with you, Robertson looks more at it than Trent at the moment. And then Click. And that's just to get in Fernandes. So I'd have a midfield 5 of De Bruyne, Sterling, Podence, Fernandes, Click. And then Calvert-Lewin, Martial as the front 2. And the back 3 of Robertson, Digne, Saiss. That's just a general idea of a possible wild card that a lot of people probably would consider doing. It's, you know what, probably very similar to what I'd be going with personally, but we shall see over the next few weeks or so. Let's bring on another call. I can't believe how quick this stream has gone. Quite extraordinary. Also, everybody coming on here. Thank you for the subscribe there. If you are enjoying this, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Ryan, cheers for the subscribe, dude. Let's just quickly go through some questions. Cage Paps, I think Jimenez has some great games coming up. He has indeed. He will be getting you that 1 goal a game. Who's the best 4.5 midfielder? Friend of the show, Mark Antigua, is asking. Basuma, probably. I have KDB's son Bruno Aubameyang click with Calvert-Lewin in Chelsea. Yeah. Eric, you want to upgrade your goalkeeper on a wildcard? Nah. I can't think of many goalkeepers off the top of my head for 4.5 that would do the job. St. Maximin or Hendricks on Kandeka is asking St. Maximin easily. Ings to Martial, Son to Rashford. Ings to Martial only because I think Son is going to score against whatchamacallit? I forgot his name. Southampton. I think Son's going to score. Right then. Let's bring on the next caller. Let's see what they have to say about this upcoming game week. Give me the cruise. Good evening. I can hear you buzzing. Give me the cruise.
Hi.
Speak. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all well, my friend. Talk to me. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I put my my team in the team screenshots part, and I guess you can see it. I saw your wild card. I thought it was good. I like the Sterling pick. I think he's going to be in my team. I might even leave KDB out. To be honest, I don't know.
Sorry, where have you posted your team? Not in Rate My Team. Here we are. No, don't matter. Don't worry.
Screens.
Don't worry. I've got it.
Have you got it?
And
yeah,
this is your normal team, yeah?
Yeah, this is what I'm going into next week.
Next week, game week 3.
Sorry, game week 2.
Right, confusing me there. It's about as standard as it gets. You're doing that deliberate thing of playing. I'm assuming you're deliberately playing Steer ahead of McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't even think he'll play. I think play. It's just.
I think.
It's just.
Martinez is going to start. I think he's pretty much been confirmed by Dean Smith that he's going to be playing.
Okay, yeah. I think he'll be a much better keeper.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Gareth Bale has been the talk of the last few days. Are you excited for when he eventually turns up at Spurs?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I hope he talks about Real Madrid and causes a bit of like gossip and just gets everyone talking about English football again. And I think it's good. I think it's good to see people coming from La Liga to the Prem. And I think I don't know how his performance will be, but I hope it's good.
Oh, absolutely. When do you expect this deal to go through? I'm expecting it to go through in the next 3 or 4 days, and then his first game is against Newcastle at home in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll take Mora's spot and sort of come on the wing. I don't really know what he'll do, but I think you're right. I think it will be in the next couple of days, and he'll probably get 30 minutes next game, or maybe he'll start. But I think it'd be a bit. He hasn't really played actually sort of first team football in ages, so it'd be a bit of a. I guess he'll either just go crazy or he'll take a better time.
What are you expecting his price to be? I'm going between 9.5 and 10.5.
Yeah, I think you can't price him over any because the most expensive is 10.5. So to put him over, as the most expensive striker in the game doesn't make any sense to me. I think you're probably right. 9.5.
The team of the week that everybody's talking about is Everton. They're up against a potentially tricky opponent tomorrow. I've been asking people what they're thinking their score is going to be in that particular fixture. Everybody's expecting Everton to win. What are you thinking on the Everton game tomorrow? You've got two assets. You've got one asset in Calvert-Lewin. What are you expecting from that fixture?
I think it's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say 2-0. I don't think that Everton are, completely transformed, but they look a lot better. I do think West Bromwich will be relegated and be lowest in the league. They'll have the lowest points by the end of the season. I don't think they have any offensive threat, really. I don't think they have any defensive either. I think they're going to be pretty hard pressed to actually sort of win many games. And yeah, I think Everton look good. I think they're sort of a top 10 side. I think maybe the reaction is that they're very, very good. I think they're like B tier team. And I think they should comfortably beat West Brom, but I think 2-0. Lots of pressure. They'll soak up a lot of it and then let a couple of goals in maybe.
You've got Havertz in your team. Are you confident that he could actually show up against Liverpool, or is that a concern for you?
I actually think he'll do very little. And I think he actually will not do much against the two teams following. So one is West Brom, and then the other is I think it's Brighton. And they're both two teams I target generally, so I'm not going to take him out. But I don't think I'll have him long term. I don't see, because right now all of the Chelsea injuries are quite bad. So you've got Chilwell's out at the back, and I saw the press release today. There's quite a few of the sort of important names out, and I just don't see him perform. For instance, Pulisic and Ziyech are both out, so I just don't think he's going to flourish. He might do in 3-4 months, but not at the moment.
What are you expecting on Sunday, Chelsea-Liverpool? I went 3-2 to Liverpool. I'm expecting quite a high-scoring game. It'll probably end up being 0-0, but what are you thinking on that game?
I think last time they played, the person that made all of the impact was Pulisic,
Yes.
and he's injured. And I think this time round, Liverpool will probably win. I think Liverpool have looked really good offensively, but just not great defensively. So I think it'll be sort of 3-1, but a very comfortable 3-1.
A couple of questions before we let you go from the chat. So Ryan Batty is saying, we've had quite a few people thinking of this. You're going with the same captaincy. Triple captaining Aubameyang this weekend. What are you thinking on that?
I think is the issue I have with Aubameyang, and I captained Salah last week, is that
well done.
I think Aubameyang's great, but he relies on Arsenal to perform well, whereas Salah will never have a game where he's not got a lot of assist potential coming his way. So, assisted goals, lots of chances created for him. So, Aubameyang's great, but the only goal he scored last week was, it was from an awkward angle. It was a really technically impressive goal, but it's just not that likely. And I think I wouldn't touch him for my triple captain. I don't think. Maybe he was in a double game week or something, but no, I wouldn't triple captain him.
No, it's one of those where it's high risk, high reward. And one final question, Mark N. Twieger is asking, Martial, Fernandes or Salah captain this week? Which of those three would you captain? I'll answer it for myself. I would personally go safety and Fernandes, then Martial, then Salah. What do you think?
I think, yeah, I'd agree with that. To be honest, I would say Martial is likely going to score. I think he's the most likely to score, but Bruno's the most likely to get any return, I think. And then Salah's potentially got the highest ceiling because he's a midfielder and he might hit 2 in. I can see he's on pens and all he needs is 1 goal and he's got a brace. So I'd say, probably the safest one is Bruno.
Just a quick question on your own team. Have you thought about doing any transfers this week? Sorry?
I made one to it was Antonio to Calvert-Lewin. Bless you, mate. Yeah, it was Antonio to Calvert-Lewin.
That's an excellent move, and like you said, you're expecting Everton to do all right. I see you've gone Robertson over Trent. So what made you go with that decision from game week 1?
You know what? It was kind of a gut feeling. So I kind of just kept making teams, and I knew probably if I was going to put it in a spreadsheet, maybe Trent would be the better option. But kind of just from like how I've been watching them and how much training Robertson had, and like he just released a book and he just seems so motivated. And Trent was kind of, he was away for a while. He'd been on holiday and he just completed the league. He's almost kind of, I feel like he'd really probably needed the holiday, and you can tell. Whereas Robertson just looks hungry. And also, I think I got a bit lucky, but he's now on more set pieces. So I was like, well, I'm not going to switch him now.
One final question from myself. What do you think is going to be the shock result this game week?
I can see Crystal Palace being a bit more difficult than people anticipate. I don't think it will be a walkover. I think it'd be a 1-0 maybe, and I think because United have had no preseason and they lost to Villa, I think people could. It's the most transferred in person is Bruno, but I could see it a very dull game and probably a captaincy blank out for a lot of people.
Interesting. We will find out by Monday. Cheers, dude.
Yeah, cheers, Steve. Keep up the good work.
Cheers, dude. Appreciate it. I'm going to do the usual line. We got over nearly 400 people watching the stream. We're only at 81 likes. Let's get it to 100 likes. Come on, everybody. Hit that like button right now while I'm speaking nonsense. Let's just answer a few of the questions in chat, and then we'll bring on one final caller. Cameron Rudge. Fernandes won't take every penalty. Rashford and Bruno will be rotated, and maybe Pogba. I don't know. I think Fernandes is pretty much guaranteed to be taking those penalties no matter what. Lawrence Ryle saying, captain options. Last week, Salah was on fire. Should we trust him with the armband this week? I said to Jason last night that I bet he captains Salah. I think Jason may actually captain him. And you know how successful Jason is with his captaincies. We'll find out. Dino Bino just essentially just calling out BS on the thing that I've just mentioned. Hussein Balak saying Ali to Rodriguez. Yes. Do it. Do it now. Cameron Rawcliffe, aka FPL Kid, saying, what do you reckon about Ali Boone Rodriguez, the easy transfer? I've just answered Hussein's question. I think yeah, absolutely. Kevin de Hampton, will Greenwood start? Should do. Should start. I think Solskjaer will actually start the same team and pretty much ended the season, to be honest with you. Adrian Tan saying, Captain Mane, Steve. No, I'm sticking with... I've said all along I'm sticking with safety all this season. So, Nistel Percy saying, calm down with Podence. Jimenez will still be the main man with the goals. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with bringing in another Wolves player. You can bring in as many... Well, you can bring in three Wolves players. Anyway, really do appreciate the subscribes coming in. Just then, that was... And the screen's just gone down. I've just missed it. Brilliant. Typical, but I really do appreciate the subscribes coming through. Calvert-Lewin or Rodriguez? Calvert-Lewin, Elliot. Elliot Martin, go with Calvert-Lewin. Tellez, is he a good option if he joins Man United? Is that a defender? I don't personally know much about him. If he's a defender, I don't trust Man United defensively. Personally, I think personally that Man United are hopeless when it comes to defending, and I think they are going to concede. In fact, someone earlier on, I was supposed to ask Boone, I completely forgot. Someone asked about Zaha, and they asked about Zaha. Sanjog, thank you. Cheers for the subscribe, dude. Someone else about Zaha. You know what? He's looking for a transfer. He's looking for a transfer and he's looking hot. Wouldn't surprise me if he scored at Old Trafford tomorrow. Bad Man Tunes is saying, -12 will do you proud, Steve. I ain't doing it this week. No trans. Next week. Blah, blah, blah. Do I transfer out Ings for a Charlison right now or wait for Game Week 2 to end and transfer Ings out for Jimenez? We've just had Booner on the call a few minutes ago. I said that I actually genuinely, if you can find the stats or essentially the goal returns and assists that Richarlison got, I'm trying to think if he did better away from home or he did better at home. I think it may have actually unfortunately been away from home. However, if he got his double-digit hauls at home, do you know what? I think keeping him would be wise. Sorry, my apologies. Transferring him out for Ings could be actually quite wise. Are you worried with... wrong question there. Captain Bruno is expecting... Javid is expecting Bruno to get a hat-trick this game week. Go for it. Wow, we got Mick Foley here. Wrestling legend. Michael Foley saying Foden should start. He's a great price. He is a great price. He's a very good price. Didn't use my transfer this week. Will I be given 2 this game week? Asked Greg Duff. Yes. After this, specifically. Cheers, bad man. Once this game week ends, or more to the point, when game week 2 starts at 11:30 or whatever, whenever the game updates. Badman Tunes. Everyone in chat pays Steve-O £1. So that's what, £400 minus deduction of 30%. I can give that money to Jason to make that studio. Let's bring on one final caller. Jedemiah Corbin. Hello, Jedemy. Unmute your mic. Hey, there we are. We've all had decent callers. Everybody that's come on call has been respectful. They've actually had their mics unmuted. Jedemiah, good evening.
Hi, Steve-O. How's it going?
I'm very well. It's been a great conversation. I've got your team up in front of me. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up on stream due to issues. You can't be captaining Greenwood, surely.
No, that's just a placeholder for Mane. I'm putting Mane captain, yeah.
No, you're not. You're not captaining Mane.
Yeah.
Cheers, Jeff. Why Mane?
To be honest, that team's a wild card. That's my wild card team.
Okay.
Wild carded, and pardon?
Carry on speaking. Yeah.
That's my wild card team. So to be honest, with those fixtures, my other premium was De Bruyne against Wolves, not really. Jimenez versus Man City, not really. Calvert-Lewin versus West Brom, early kickoffs, I don't really trust it. So, and Werner versus Liverpool, I don't want to do it. So I think Mane's the safest bet, to be honest.
What's the reasonings behind it? Are you expecting the Liverpool to dominate Chelsea? Are you expecting it to be a high-scoring game? Well, because Mane flattered to deceive last week against Leeds, to my detriment. But I mean, of these options here, I mean, do you know what? I'd be more tempted to put the armband on De Bruyne personally, or even Jimenez. But yeah, what makes you think Mane's going to be the best option of this team here?
To be honest, I think it's going to be sort of 3-2 game to Liverpool, where I don't really want to captain Mane, but he's the least bad option, and as I can't afford 0.12 or Batman or anyone, so that's what. Yeah, he could get a goal. Honestly, I'd just be happy with just a goal this week for captaincy.
What's made you wildcard this game week?
I had quite a few players in there who I wasn't happy with. I had like Vinagre in, I had Dyer, I had a few bad midfield picks, and my strikers were pretty bad. I had Che Adams in there who I wasn't impressed with. So I've just ripped it up really, and I got like I had Salah. It wasn't too bad, but it was still not what I wanted for the first week back.
For people listening to audio, we'll go through it in a minute. Pickford, Lamptey, Stuck, Alexander-Arnold, Mane, De Bruyne, Podence, Greenwood, Jimenez, Werner, Calvert-Lewin. You've hit the wildcard button. Are you confident with this team, or have you got dilemmas in there which you're a bit concerned about?
The two things I'm thinking about are, well, one of them doesn't really matter, but for me, it's either Pickford or Lamptey or Ryan and Coleman. But I think Lamptey is going to do better than Coleman, which is why I've got him in. And the other thing I'm thinking about is I feel like I've got to have I want Martial, but with that strike force, there's just nothing will give there really. And I could take out Werner, but that's just. I just can't get Martial in. I feel it's just too hard for me to get him in with the strikes I've got at the moment.
You're adamant on Mane. Just are you going to be keeping Mane for the foreseeable future? I mean, I personally just don't trust Liverpool full stop, but
I think it's brave not trusting Liverpool full stop. I mean, they won the league. They won the league last season. I mean, I can't really. I could downgrade to Bruno and captain him and use that money, but I feel like I need a kind of a Liverpool attacker for a few weeks after all, because they could score against Arsenal quite easily. Obviously, I'd like to have Salah, but Calvert-Lewin going up in price has put me in a bit of trouble for that.
If you're confident about Fernandes, or you're wanting Fernandes, that money could be spent to upgrade certain players, i.e. you could, if you wanted to, Mane down to Fernandes, and then maybe upgrade Greenwood to. Are you adamant on Greenwood?
No. I feel like I need a Man United player in there, but I mean, obviously, first choice, to be honest, would probably be Martial. But with my strikers, I feel like I need Jimenez for that because he's good. He played well against Sheffield United, could get a goal against Man City, and then for that streak after that, fixtures wise, it's amazing. So. And Werner, his ownership's. I know you say don't look at ownership, but his ownership's just too high to get rid of him. He scores a brace in a couple of weeks or whatever. So, and Calvert-Lewin I really trust for some reason. I think the West Brom game, Everton will win sort of 3-0. So I could see him getting at least a goal there, possibly 2 returns, quite likely a goal and an assist or whatever.
You're a regular in the Discord. How long are you going to be on Discord to finalise this wildcard team? Because I think, Jedemiah, you're going to be stressing till 11 o'clock tomorrow with Jason.
To be honest, I haven't touched that team really today. I'm kind of happy with it.
Oh, that's good.
If I were to go with Bruno, I'd spend that 1.5. I think I might change Greenwood because double United, maybe not, but I'd probably go for someone at a similar price to Greenwood, but I'd rather upgrade one of my defenders, and I've got Saiss on the bench who can come in for game week 3, so he'll be my starter really, defense-wise.
Before we let you go, a couple of questions for yourself to answer. Ozen Ridemika Summer, fit for an Yes, I'm wearing a Fit for an Autopsy shirt. They're not deathcore, I understand that, but yes, I'm into the underground death metal and everything. And I saw these live with Flaming Out. How have I forgotten? I saw them live with someone very, very well before this whole thing kicked off, and I've completely forgotten who. Damn. But either way, they were excellent live. They were absolutely superb. Oh, Carnifex. And Thy Art is Murder. That's right. That's who it was with. Where are we at? The questions for you then, Jedemiah. Ryan Allen is asking, who would you captain, Martial or Calvert-Lewin?
Martial.
Martial.
Trust the early kickoff.
And another question for Kevin de Hamster. Would you, not for your own team, but just for him and many others, consider Werner as captain?
I mean, I could see it being a decent option when Chelsea are missing so many players, and Havertz wasn't exactly great. If Havertz looked really good against Brighton, I might say yes. But Havertz isn't going to be great, I don't think, in that game. So probably not, but it wouldn't be too bad a pick if you did go for it.
One final question from myself. Gareth Bale, are you excited in returning to the Premier League?
To be honest, not really. I think he'll do okay, but I think he'll be outpriced. Personally, I know this is going to sound stupid, but I'd only look at getting him in for sort of the 7.5 million mark, because I think he's in a very, very similar sort of situation to James Rodriguez.
Wow, if he came in at 7.5, he's going to be 100% owned. Jedemiah, good luck with the wild card.
Thank you.
Cheers, dude. Let's bring on a friend of the show and moderator, Dre Zera. Yo, 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 Dre Zera.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are we all today? And hello, Steve-O. We are live.
We are live indeed. A week to go before we release my podcast with yourself. I'm looking forward to that. It's
well, it's in 3 days.
It's indeed, yes. Everybody, just to let you know that I recorded how long was it? 3 hours.
The whole thing, including the little bit at the beginning with my other co-host, that lasted 20 minutes. But altogether, it was nearly the whole thing was about 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours long of just myself opening up to Dre's Era. It's a wonderful listen, and I know there's quite a lot of people that are actually genuinely interested in listening to it. So make sure you check out Dre's Era Uncensored, and it will also be released to members only. Dre's Era, Thiago is coming to Liverpool. Your thoughts?
Thiago, baby, yes! Oh my days, I was dancing all over the moon. The only reason why I didn't celebrate so hard is at the specific time when he got announced officially, I was doing a business job for a film project for a barbershop opening as a client. But yeah, I'm now celebrating now in my own house.
How is he going to improve Liverpool?
So the thing is with Thiago, he's going to be the assister before the assist, and also he's really going to tie up the play, and he's really going to push on. Like, I hope that as a result, it means like the attacking options, the front three, they could be better. There could be a chance that Firmino could be a better FPL asset, but I would say don't have him in your FPL.
Oh no, it's a complete waste of time.
Well, he's the guy that's the assister before the assist. So unless, yeah. But as a fan in general, I think he may make other assets look good.
Before we continue this conversation, I just want to say that I'm going to do an Andy Let's Talk FPL here quickly. Can you help myself and Jason reach 5,500 subs by the end of this stream? In fact, during this stream. So we're only 40 subscribers away from 5.5k subs. If you're not subscribed, go, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. And by all means, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Drazero, I've got your team up on front of me. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up on Discord, or more to the point, up on screen, because there's a bit of the bug, but it doesn't really matter. A 4-5-1 formation. What's your concerns about this team? Are you making any transfers? Are you hitting the wild card? Talk to me.
So I am sticking to my plan from game week 1. So at the start, I had Greenwood on the bench, and I have bagged my transfer for game week 2, essentially shifting things around. I had a 3-4-3 formation, switching to a 4-5-1, bringing Dallas in, bringing Greenwood in, and dropping Mitrovic and dropping Brewster as well. So yeah, I'm relaxed. I don't want to use my wild card too early, because in my honest opinion, I want to use the wild card when I see more players play, more teams play, other matches, and yeah, I just don't want to hit it too early.
No, there's been a lot of people coming on, hitting their wild card. Do you think they're panicking, or do you think that actually, do you know what, it's a very, very good tactic hitting those very volatile price rises? I'm seriously considering hitting the wild card game week 3. Yeah, the wild card situation here. Do you think? What are your thoughts on it for everybody that's doing it, especially like people like Jedemiah just now?
So I feel that anyone that's had a bad game week, so in my opinion, I've only got 41 points this game week, and obviously that's subpar for the game week rank and on average in general. But I feel that for anyone wanting to wildcard, obviously it's their own choice at the end of the day. But personally, I would just feel uncomfortable wildcarding so soon, because the way I see it, I think of every chip or wildcard availability as like a like the ace in the pack in your hand in a game of poker, for example, or any kind of card game. And so I just want to have all the pieces available when I have more information. That is why I want to stick to my guns. But if people want to use a wild card, it's their choice, but it's not for me.
No, it's not. And I mean, you had, let's be honest here, not the greatest of game weeks. Is that right? Game week 1?
No. Yeah, you're right. 41 points. It was so bad that I miraculously beat Harbour Boy in the Elite head-to-head by 1 point.
Oh, really?
Thanks to Dallas coming off the bench. It was that bad.
Christ almighty, that's... yeah. It was a crazy game week, but at least we got it out of the way. Are you confident for game week 2? Just for anybody listening on audio, McCarthy, Alexander-Arnold, Doherty, Tierney, Dallas, Son, Havertz, Maximin, Aubameyang, Greenwood, Werner. Are you confident with this team going into game week 2?
I'm confident. I feel that if Greenwood doesn't start, I feel he'll definitely come off the bench, because Man United do not have the luxury to drop one of their best attackers in their team, especially since they haven't got Sancho yet. And I'm relaxed about it. I don't want to knee-jerk react and break away from my philosophy and planning, because I feel like last season I felt like I took needless hits, even though I didn't take too many hits in general. But I just want to play it steady and then reassess in a later game week in my planning.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sticking with them. I'm pretty sure it was you that came on with Jason. I can't remember now, but I know for a fact that you said, it was on Twitter when you mentioned when you saw my Salah members only rant video, and you just made the very point that I stuck to my principles, and you get the idea with that, and that's clearly what you're doing now. I'm asking our callers to answer a couple of questions from the chat, and here's one for you, Drezer. Adam Frank is asking, Would you bring in this week Fernandes for Salah?
So bringing in Fernandes for Salah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a toss of the coin, really. Is this for game week 2? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a case for both. I'd be open with both, because Salah's on form. And I think if I had the choice, I would probably lean to Salah, only because he's on form, and Fernandes is a tiny bit of an unknown, because this will be his first game since playing for Portugal in the international break. So, but I mean, there could be a case for both. So yeah, I just lean towards Salah, but yeah.
Shrenik Ganguly saying, I'd save the wildcard for a double game week if and when the Manchester club's first game week gets scheduled. Yeah, that's going to be about game week 18, 19, I believe. And one final question for you, Dre, from Badman Tunes. Would you play a Leeds defender instead of Reece James this weekend?
Yes, because even though Reece James played well, there's always a slight rotation risk with Reece James or Azpilicueta or etc. And I think that Fulham are absolutely hopeless. And if any Fulham fans are listening right now, I'm sorry, but you might as well enjoy your holiday in the Premier League, because you're going to be championing the Championship next season.
Yeah, they looked hopeless. And one final question. Sunday, it is Chelsea versus Liverpool. I will be covering the game. Your thoughts on that particular fixture, more specifically, your prediction?
Well, I believe it's going to be a goal fest. I feel that Liverpool can't defend. It seems like we can't defend at the moment, but at the same time, we do have firepower. So don't be surprised if this game is turning into a cricket scorecard or a rugby score. I predicted on the score predictor. I believe I predicted 6-4. Because I am a mad ting of a man. But yes, I think it'll be a goal fest. So if you have Chelsea and Liverpool assets, I think that'll be the game where you'll be cashing in on some real points.
I've just realised one final question, actually. Jota looks like he's going to be signing for you lot. Happy with that transfer?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so basically, I read it on the Discord, on the Elite FPL Discord, to which all of you should check it out. And yeah, when I heard it, I was like, what? Jota? I feel that initially I felt underwhelmed, but for me, if Jota does well for Liverpool, I'll give him a chance. And let's see if he could step up to Liverpool. I would prefer to get Ismaila Sarr from Watford, but if Jota really wants to come to Liverpool, and I don't know where we're getting this money from suddenly, but yeah, Jota, if you're listening to the Elite FPL podcast, if you come here, then we'll welcome you with open arms. Just play well, all right?
Praise Sarah, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much, man, and have a good day and evening. Thank you.
Cheers, dude. There's Dre Zara there. Let's just quickly rattle through some calls. Romero Island, just make sure you unmute your mic. Hello, Romero Island, are you there? Speak to myself, speak to the people that are listening in a 3, a 2, a 1. No, he's not there. Let's bring on then Harvey, hello. Are you there? Speak to us. Speak to myself. Speak to the people listening in. They want to hear what you have to say. Hello, Harvey.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
How are you?
I'm all well, my friend. We're going to be going off live in a minute. What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about?
I'm quite new to the game. This is my first season I'm properly taking it seriously. And I was just wondering your opinion on like taking hits like this early in the game. Because I've got a few players I'm unhappy with, but like I've already made the Martial transfer from Danny Ings. So I was just wondering what you thought.
Who are you unhappy with in your team?
Well, Alan St. Maximin, him playing in the 4-4-2, I don't really see that many points, and also Egan at the back.
Very similar situation to me. I mean, would you be removing them two specifically?
Well, I mean, I've already made a Martial transfer, as I said. Like, I'd just be looking to get maybe Maximin out for maybe a Leeds player or maybe Podence. And then, yeah, Egan, I'll still wait and see, but the first game isn't too promising.
Me personally, I always look at hits as what do you think the player will do that you're bringing in for that hit, and then what do you think the player will do taken out. So for argument's sake, I always work out on the basis that, let's just take, say, for argument's sake, you do a -4 for Harrison in for St. Maximin. I would say, just for argument's sake, St. Maximin, there's a chance that he could get an assist versus Brighton. However, Harrison, there's a chance he'll get a goal versus Fulham based on his history.
Yeah.
That, for me, isn't really worth the hit per se, because they'll kind of even themselves out. However, if you were to be bringing in a player which you think, again, just for argument's sake, Salah was at home to Fulham, and you were going to be getting rid of Sterling, who was away at Arsenal, for argument's sake, and you're going to be doing a -4, there's a higher likely chance that Salah is going to bang in a double-digit haul ahead of Sterling versus Arsenal. And it's down to what you believe the players will do that you're going to be getting rid of. Now, people like Jason, people like Boona, various other people are willing to just take hits for the sake of bringing in players that they just want in their team because they feel that in the long run they're going to perform a lot better than the players that are getting rid of. Now that's going to be something that plays in your mind as well. Like I'm in the same position as you. Egan, with hindsight now, I think is a big mistake for me that I brought in from Sheffield United. Sheffield United, there's something about them that aren't impressing me. Newcastle Alex St Maximin specifically, apparently he looked really, really poor, but I'm personally not willing to take a hit to get rid of them
I understand what you
directly
mean.
out. I mean, who would you said that you'd bring in like Podence, Harrison. What defender would you consider bringing in for Egan, just for argument's sake?
Well, there's some. Well, like say, what's his name? The Wolves defender. I don't know how to pronounce it. Saiss. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'd be considering putting him in.
And that's the point. So
the Wolves defense.
this specific game week, he's up against Man City. So the likelihood of Saiss getting a goal or a clean sheet is quite low down. So it's not really worth taking in this specific case a minus.
Yeah, but I'd like to bring him into my team, and I've also I want to bring out Aubameyang game week 3 for Sterling. So
yeah,
if I want to bring him in, it'll have to be now, or just leave it, and not take a hit.
I'd leave it. Egan's got a decent fixture against Aston Villa. I'm personally expecting a draw, although I am expecting to concede. But then again, in the Man City game, I'm not expecting Wolves to be keeping a clean sheet or getting any attacking returns or whatsoever. Yeah. I just personally don't think that it's worth a hit for the specific players that you're planning on doing here. Quick questions from the chat. And there aren't any. Where's all the questions that normally come in? There's normally about 1 million questions, and then the one time that I'm wanting to ask a question, there are no questions. All right, here's a question for you. From Vince Chapman. He's saying he's making the statement here that Podence seems now essential. What do you think?
Well, obviously, like I said earlier, I'd be considering bringing him in for Alan St Maximin. I think he looks quite well against Sheffield United. And now Jota's leaving. It looks like a good pick, but I probably wouldn't say essential, but he's a good pick.
So you've done the transfer of Ings to Martial. Henrik Fornstad is saying then what do you think on then the Ings to Martial? Do you think that is going to pay off?
I think Ings to Martial is a very good transfer because I was already planning to do it in the first place. And Ings blanking in game week 1 just made my decision look even better. And also, I don't have any Man United assets, and I think I definitely need one.
Vince asking a very... in fact, this is a proper question that we can get stuck into here, that you can get stuck into. If Wolves beat City this weekend, is the season already over for them?
For Man City? Not flipping out my voice. No, I wouldn't say so. City could bounce back and win every other game from then on. It's not particularly over. And who says that Liverpool's not going to slip up anytime soon? So, because they didn't look the greatest against Leeds.
No, they didn't. What are you expecting in the Chelsea game this weekend?
I think Chelsea versus Liverpool is going to be a very close game. That's why I've kept Werner in my team, because I think there's potential for maybe 1 or 2 attacking returns from Werner. Then I'd probably see it being like a 2-2 draw or something.
Interesting. Harvey, thanks for coming on the show. I would advise you to stick around in the Hangouts and ask a few more people about your potential points hit.
Yeah, all right. Cheers, Steve-O.
No, thank you. Cheers, dude. There's Harvey there. Good call. Let's try being the key word here. Let's try and bring on Gulag. The Gulag King. Hello.
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 How's it going?
I'm all well. What do you want to just quickly talk about?
I don't know. It seems all right. I don't know whether to get in Foden or to get in Foden.
Oh, that is. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Gulag, your connection is terrible, I'm afraid. But if you're listening in on the stream, I'm loving the Zaha pick. The Zaha pick is beautiful. I don't know if this is a wild card or not, but I'm liking your punt on Zaha. That is absolutely beautiful, but unfortunately a bit of a connection error there. Didn't quite work out. Let's bring on Frankenstein. Frankenstein, hello. Welcome to the Elite FPL show with myself, Stevo, this impromptu stream. What do you want to talk about? What have you done with your team? Frankenstein, are you there? Take those bolts out your ears and we'll be able to talk. No, he's... Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Hello there, Frankenstein. No, he's...
Hi. Hey, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, let's try and get a coherent conversation going here. What are you thinking on wildcarding people this week? Is it an advantage for yourself, or are you thinking, no, I'm thinking of doing the same?
I wanted to wildcard actually, but it's too early without seeing City and United play, honestly.
So when are you planning on doing the wildcard then? Game week 3?
I was hoping to push it out until maybe game week 7 or 8, but with Redmond injured, I'm not very sure.
No, I'm Frankenstein. We're having a bit of connection issue here. I think you're listening in on the stream. Let's get on Romero Island. Romero Island, good evening. We were going so well with the callers, and all of a sudden, you lot in the evening, the real late evening, is Romero. 3, 2. No, he's not there either. Let's bring on Paul E. Paul E. It's very rare that Paul E. Calls in. Paul E. You've called in. What's going on? Paulie, don't do this to me. Talk.
No. Hello.
It's very rare you phone in. What's going on? What's the panic?
Well, no panic. I've been trying to get in a waiting room for the past 2 hours, but I haven't been able to do it for some weird reason. I don't know what's the connection.
All these people wildcarding, are you thinking of doing the same, or are you just going to be doing a few transfer hits or no transfers? What are you thinking?
Oh, well, I had a pretty good game week 1, so I've made my 1 transfer. I'm keeping the wild card. I'm not taking any hits because I'm pretty set on the team that I've got. I took Dele Alli out just before his -1. His 0.1, decrease in price, and I put Rashford in because I had 1.5 million in bank.
What is this Rashford obsession with a lot of people? Why did you bring the Rashford for?
Well, that it was either going to be I had Son in at the start, but that was with Brewster up front, so I had enough money to go from Son straight to Bruno Fernandes. But right at the last minute, I took Brewster out, I put Mitrovic in, and then I dropped Son to Dele Alli, which left me 1.5 in the bank. So I went straight from Alli to Rashford with the 1.5.
But what I'm asking is, what makes you so confident that Rashford's going to perform well for United?
I just think it did well last. It did well last season, and it was classified as a striker, weren't it, last year? If he performs the same, 15 to 17 goals, I think he'll be a good midfield option. As long as Martial and Rashford around him are performing well as well, they'll feed him the ball. He'll be able to feed it back. It's them Man United forwards, so I think all of them are going to do quite well this season. So you're not going to go wrong with whoever out of the 3 or 4 that you pick anyway. Yeah, I just went for Rashford because I like him better than Martial, and I couldn't afford Bruno.
I've got your team up from last week actually. 91 points, absolutely stunning. You must have been overjoyed with Reece James coming through. That's the standout one.
Yeah, we were actually in Hangouts when that game were on, and I don't think I've cheered as much in my life when it went in, because he lost clean sheet, didn't he, about 2 minutes before that as well, and everyone was saying, "Oh, James is a bad pick, and then he went and scored, got the assist. I only actually put him in because I think I only had 5 million in the bank, and I initially had Zuma in. And then people were saying, "No, Zuma's not going to start," so I dropped him for Reece James.
So
It did me well.
The people telling you these players aren't going to start, they turn up and score. Paulie, you are the transfer guru in the Discord. Are you excited with these transfers happening for Liverpool with Thiago, Jota? We got Tottenham with Bale. What were your thoughts on all 3 transfers?
Well, as a Man United fan, I'm not happy with anything Liverpool are doing, to be honest. But in relation to FPL, if Thiago plays where everyone says he's going to play, he's going to feed Salah, Firmino, Mane, and I think that they're going to be even more essential for people, considering people have been transferring Salah and Mane out recently. I think a lot of people are going to have to jump back on him.
Yeah, you're very, very good with your predictions. The Chelsea versus Liverpool game, we had Jedemiah on earlier on. He's seriously thinking of captaining Mane because he feels that's the best option. Chelsea-Liverpool, what are your thoughts on that particular fixture?
I think it'll be 3-2 either way. I think there'll be goals because both of the defences looked quite leaky. Brighton could have scored more than the 1 goal that they did. And Liverpool just seemed to look all over the place against Leeds. And I think with Chelsea's attack, Werner could easily get in behind. Havertz, the 2 wingers, if Mason Mount plays, they could easily get some balls in behind. I don't think I would captain a Liverpool player, though. I think I'm going to Aubameyang, and that's pretty much set for me.
As I always say, I'm going to be asking people questions before we let them go. David Chumney is asking, he has 0.5 to upgrade Wilson to Calvert-Lewin or do Ings to Rashford, despite the fact those are 2 different positions, so don't even bother asking that question. Andre Johansson is thinking, or is asking, are you betting that Martial flops this weekend?
I'm not betting that it flops. I just think that Rashford will outperform him, given the position switch over. Because I watched a lot of Man U games last year, and Martial, he seemed to do well 1 game. He'll do all right for 2 games, and then he'll get all his points. If he could finish, he'd have got a lot more points last season, because there were a lot of times where he messed it up in box and everything.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just about to say, if Martial gets scoring and he gets his confidence back and everything, then he'll be a great, especially at 9 million. Great asset, but I'm going Rashford to start with.
Absolutely. FPL Maestro making the point. Man United, as you will be aware, have agreed personal terms with Alex Telles. Talk to me about Alex Telles. I know nothing about him. I don't know. I'm assuming he's a defender. Do you know much about him?
I don't know much about him, but apparently he's an attacking wing back who plays on left hand side. Man United were after that player who was gone for who Tottenham are getting. I think
Regulin.
Yeah, or whatever it's called, yeah. And I think that Tellus were linked with Wolves for a little bit, and I hadn't actually heard anything about him going to Man United, so I'll have to have a read up on that.
Specific question directly to you from our friend Zena Fernley. Paulie, Kevin De Bruyne or Martial for captain?
Oh, just because of the fixture, I go Martial.
There we are, Zena.
But it wouldn't surprise me though if KDB doesn't get a return or something as well.
No. Are you excited for that game, Wolves versus Man City?
Yeah, I'm just excited for football, me, Steve. You know me, I'll watch anything.
Yes.
But yeah, I like it when 2 top teams play against each other. Because then you can really see what each team are made of, can't you? And especially this early in the season, it'll give you a good idea of how they're going to look going forward.
Absolutely. Paulie, appreciate you coming on.
No problem. See you in a bit.
Cheers, dude. And on that final note, I'm going to call it a evening. I've gone on for a lot longer than I expected. I've got to tuck myself up in bed, but I really do appreciate everybody joining in for tonight's impromptu stream where we talked all things wildcard, Bale, whoever else was. What the hell was that? Did you hear that then? Sounded like someone had How bizarre. Yeah, so just appreciate everybody joining in on this impromptu stream. Being a lot of good, interesting conversation regarding wildcards, BALE, triple ups on Everton, points, hits, you name it, we talked about it. It's been a lot of fun. Oh dear, someone has... Oh God, if only Jason was here. He'd be able to help me out with all this technology buffness. But yeah, I don't know how that individual gone. How strange. I wonder if that was a hacker. Anyhow, on that final note, I'm going to leave it there. Cheers, everybody, for joining in. All I will say is this is the usual story of if you've enjoyed the stream, simply hit the like button. If you've enjoyed the show and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at Elite FPL to find out when the next stream is. Also, go to the elitefpl.com website for the score predictor game. It's all a bit of fun, and we all can have a laugh about it. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow for Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Yes, Crystal Palace versus Man United versus Crystal Palace tomorrow. Myself and Jason will be back. There's a chance, unlikely, but there's a chance that Jason may do a stream tomorrow morning again. Just stay tuned for that. Other than that, everybody, appreciate you joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.